All right. Welcome back to a brand new episode
Thank you.
of the Made South podcast. It's not Southerner anymore. It's the Made South. It's the Made South podcast.
Oh, I think I heard that.
Yeah. It's the Made South podcast.
You just trying on different versions of
It's the Made South podcast.
that. Okay.
It's the Made South podcast. Right? Are any of those good?
No.
No?
No. Mm-mm.
Here's what I thought would kind of be fun for tonight, okay?
Okay.
I have brought you many different ideas in the past.
Yes,
ideas
you
that I
have.
have
Yes, you have.
for things like, businesses or projects or whatever. You know, I have brought, how many? Don't exaggerate, okay? But we have been married just a few days over 22 years.
Yeah.
How many, in those 22 years, how many different ideas do you think I've come to you with? Like, hey, I got an idea.
Oh, well, I'm just not sure that those can be counted. You know?
I mean, just wet finger in the air.
I don't know.
Is
1,000?
Are you? No. There's no chance it's 1,000. Think about that for a second. That's like,
I know, but I'm thinking about
that's 50 a year.
you know.
So
yeah, but
many.
like even little ones, you know, do you remember when you used to collect website names?
What do you mean when I used to?
I didn't know you still did that.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
what do you call them?
Good thing you don't have the keys
You
to
buy
our URL account.
The what?
URLs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you used to just buy like those
Yeah.
are all individual little ideas that you were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna set this here in case I ever want to do anything with
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Well, and
but you've had some big ones. You've had some, you know,
what does that mean?
pretty lofty, crazy ideas.
Okay,
that
I was
you
going to say,
think you're capable.
what does that
of
mean?
Pulling off.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair.
So
That's fair.
There's been a significant number of
Yeah.
those.
But I thought I would.
I'm accidentally type texting to our son right now.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, don't send all that to him. I'm glad
Okay.
we're not talking about teenagers right now.
No, we're not. No.
But I thought it would be fun to bring up to you 3 business ideas
Okay.
that I have had in the past.
Yeah, I wonder if they're the same ones that I can recall.
Oh, so you can recall some?
Oh, yeah.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I can pull some out pretty
Well,
quickly.
let me, because I don't want you to say them and then it be one of the ones that I have.
Okay.
So let me tell you the 3 that that I wanted to say, hey.
That just off the top of your
Yes,
head
off
came.
the top of my head
Okay.
came to me.
Okay.
And then you give me some feedback on that. Okay?
Okay.
So-
So before we dive into this, so do you think that this has anything to do with you being a 7 on the Enneagram?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you're
For sure.
you're the idea guy, and so you have
yeah.
lots of ideas.
Yeah.
And,
It is hard for me to turn them off. It really is
Okay.
hard for me to turn them off.
okay.
But what I've tried to do, because for a long time I thought all of my ideas are great.
Yes,
These are
you
all
did.
great ideas.
Yeah, you did.
And there would even be, early on, after we left Dave's to kind of go out on our own and be entrepreneurs, I would just do everything that came to mind. Like, a coffee subscription. Sure, let's do that. Boxes was very intentional. We were intentional about that. But I would come up with just different things and, let's try this. Let's do that. Let's try this. And, some of them worked and a lot of them didn't. So I had to learn that not all of my ideas are good. So that's one thing that I have learned. I mean, listen to this. Somebody at church asked me the other day, how long have you been gone from Dave's? And I had to go, wait a minute. 9 years.
Wow.
Does that seem crazy? Would you have
Not
guessed it was
really.
9 years?
That seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah,
like we had
it does.
little
I guess
kids.
you're right. Yep.
When we used to
Yeah.
go to Christmas parties.
Yeah.
You know?
That was wild. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I don't
Yeah.
know what I thought. I would 5,
Yeah.
6, 7. But
Yeah.
9?
Yeah.
Almost a
I would
decade?
not know how old Made South was.
Yeah.
I would
9 years.
have to think.
Over
like,
9 years old.
I don't remember when he left.
I know.
Was
Isn't
it
that wild?
14?
2014.
That was the year.
February.
Okay.
February 2014.
Okay.
But I've always had that. Like I remember telling Dave whenever he hired me in 2001, I know I'm going to have to go do something on my own one day. I know I'm going to have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know what that was. I didn't have any skills. I didn't have any money. I didn't even think I could do that.
You wanted at that time. You wanted to work for. Do you think it's because you wanted to work for yourself? Maybe your dad worked for himself.
He did. My dad always worked for himself.
Is that just what was sort of
a
normal picture?
I remember him having a couple of jobs early on. Like he was a mechanic and he worked for the TVA, and that was very early in my childhood. But then, pretty quickly, he became his own thing. He was a contractor, a handyman, painter, carpenter, you know.
Yeah.
And so maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's curious.
Yeah.
But I didn't used to have a ton of ideas. I just kind of always felt inside, I know I'm going to have to try to go do that at some point. So we did do that in 2014, but even before, like one of these I'm going to mention to you.
Well, hold on. I'm sorry. I think I interrupted
you.
So
sorry.
You were saying that you were telling Dave in 01, I'm going to have to do something on my own.
Yes.
I don't really have, I don't know what that looks like.
Right,
and I remember he said something to you.
Yes, he said he thought that was great. He's an entrepreneur. He's got that in him too. And so he said, I think that's awesome. And until you figure it out, let's get you some skills. Maybe you can develop some wisdom, some maturity. Maybe you can even earn some money. And then when you figure it out, you can go do that. And I was like, yeah, it's a great answer. Great answer.
Yeah.
But even I would say maybe the last 4 or 5 years at Dave's, I was doing a lot of thinking about what that thing may be one day.
Yeah.
And
I think you were longing for some creativity too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you were doing the same thing for a long time.
I did the same job for, I only had one other job there, but it was only like the first 6 months I was there.
Right.
And so I did.
You moved into that.
Yeah, 11 and a half years I did the same thing.
Right.
And so it was like maybe after 5 or 6 years I was kind of like, okay, I wanted to have other side gigs, side hustles. And so you remember Tim Smith?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tim Smith and I think maybe Joe Levitt was in on this.
Okay.
That the three of us would sit around at lunch and we would talk about like fun ideas that we had. And so the three of us came up with together one of the first kind of business ideas that we had that I was a part of was something called Uncomfortable Conversations. Do you ever remember this?
No.
Okay. I'm going to send this to Joe and Tim because it'll be fun to go down memory lane with this. So Uncomfortable Conversations was a website where you want to have an uncomfortable conversation with someone and you don't have the guts to do it. Well, you can pay us and we'll have that conversation on your behalf.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see you three.
You're dating a girl. You're like, it's not going to work. I don't want to date this girl anymore. But I don't want to have this conversation. You could pay us something. I don't remember. There were like levels. Some level.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Some level would be just we'll mail a note card on your behalf. Some would be like we'll make a phone call. One was I don't remember what they were, but we had different levels, and based upon what you paid, we would have that. We would call up and say, "Hey, Jenny, I'm sorry, Todd. He's not really interested in dating you anymore, and he thinks you're a really nice girl, but he's just it's not going to work out. And so, good luck to you. Because we don't have any emotion in that conversation, but it would save that person from having that.
Do you introduce yourself like I'm Chris with Uncomfortable Conversations?
Maybe I don't know.
I'm calling on behalf of Todd.
I don't know. But what do you think about that?
That's really stupid. It sounds like break room talk.
Yeah, that's why I call you the Dream Crusher.
I'm pretty sure some people would back me up on that.
Okay.
You do call me the Dream Crusher.
I do.
Yeah.
But now we've learned kind of how to manage
it's kind of
the
fun,
ideas.
But it's kind of painful.
Yeah, there for a stretch of our marriage, I felt very shot down anytime I had an idea.
Mm-hmm. Unfairly, do you think?
I don't know. Now we're blending over into a therapy session. This has become a different type of episode altogether. I think that you called
me that before you realized you didn't need to do all of the ideas.
I did call you that before I realized that.
And it also was before I knew I needed to give you some time to let that think. Let you think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Did that come from John and Jenny?
Yeah.
Okay. They figured that out and then passed that on to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different episode, but I don't feel that way anymore. But you're right.
Good.
I have learned that not all of my ideas are good, and so maybe I need to think
to do them all.
Yeah, maybe I need to think about them a little bit more. Maybe get some counsel from other people who are in that space and give me some feedback. Let me flesh it out a little bit more before I bring it to you.
Yeah.
I've learned how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I did hear recently that it's the 6 in me, that like every entrepreneurial couple needs a 6, to hold you.
Your worst case scenario.
I am.
You shoot holes in everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And I immediately see all the, well, how are you going to do this? And what's that going to look like? And,
right.
And you're just kind of in like
La La Land.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in dream world.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I'll figure that out.
Right. No, I mean, it works now. I think it works now. But there was a period of time where I felt very discouraged. And now I feel like I need to lay on the couch. Uncomfortableconversations.com. That was going to be our website.
Okay.
And that was going to be the little side hustle business we were
I
going to
don't recall that one. I don't think that one came home to me.
It was very, very early on.
I had little children.
I mean, I would think that was 2007,
so I did not retain
8,
any of
9,
that.
somewhere. I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It may be pre-iPhone. In fact, I think it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. The second one that I wanted to tell you about was, so I've been to a lot of concerts at the Ryman Auditorium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I love the Ryman Auditorium. I think, I genuinely believe, like, one of the best concert musical venues in the entire world. Mm-hmm. The history, the acoustics, the architecture, like, I love it. I love the Ryman. Mm-hmm. And even at one point, I mean, I think I'm past the period where I was kind of desiring a tattoo. But at one point I was like, oh, I'll get kind of like the Ryman stained glass windows. I thought, can you imagine that now?
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine that?
Wow.
How weird would that be if I had that just on my arm? Hey, here's some stained glass windows from a concert venue in Nashville. But I love the Ryman Auditorium. And the thing with the Ryman is people who go there, because it's a smaller venue, they sell out a lot. They sell out a lot. And so I had this idea, and I bought the domain name rymanlive.com. Okay. And I pitched them. I emailed them several times. I even had like a conversation with somebody, like an email exchange, about kind of helping develop an online, an internet-based. By the way, I was still working for Dave when I did this. An internet-based kind of platform that when shows would sell out, you had this overflow market of, okay, we'll spend $19 and you can watch the concert live at home.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so I think back to shows that I went, like Wilco or Bob Dylan or whoever, that the shows were sold out. You can't buy any more tickets to it. And I might be at home going, well, daggum, I'm bummed out. Like, it's sold out and I want to go, but I can't because it's sold out. If I had the opportunity to pay $19 or $29 or something like that and sit at home and see like a high definition, a really great video feed, multi-camera video feed from the Ryman.
Yeah, that could be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one that I had back then. It never took off.
Did they not care for it?
I don't remember what the response was, but I mean, obviously, why would we need this dude who is in sales at Dave Ramsey to do this? You know?
Yeah.
Although I did own the domain, rymanlive.com and rymanlive.tv.
Ah.
But I let them go some years ago where I was like, I let them expire and I didn't pick them back up. So if anybody wanted to do that, I think it's a great idea. And in fact, it may actually be a thing now. Not
it seems very kind of a Definitely seems
yeah,
doable in today's age.
Maybe it's not rhyming live or what, but I think there's something they do now with certain shows where they offer that. So that I was ahead of my time, really.
Yeah, you really were.
I was.
Yeah.
And then the third one that I had, I still believe this is a great idea.
Okay.
I don't know how to do it, but I believe it's a great idea. Okay. And I call it Jingle the Musical. Have we talked about this?
I don't know. You have to tell me.
This is a Broadway musical based entirely on classic advertising campaigns.
Okay.
And so my storyline, which I've written nothing, okay? So I just have a very basic storyline. In my head, the storyline begins with like a young lady who gets in like 1920s, 30s, 40s, Madison Avenue, New York City advertising world, gets a job as like a secretary and works her way up through the business, from secretary to copywriter, from copywriter to this, that, and works her way up to like running the company. But every step of the way, the musical numbers are based on real life advertising jingles that we've all heard growing up.
Right.
And so you remember what was that coffee one? It was like a coffee one. Bum 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 bum. You don't remember that? Maybe like Folgers or I don't know. Or the Double Mint Gum. Remember the Double Mint Gum jingle?
Was that music?
No. That's
what you just did.
That's a coffee one of some kind.
Okay.
But like classic advertising jingles.
Okay.
That you would, obviously we would need somebody who knows how to write music and songs to take those jingles and expand on them and create like full, 3-minute, 2.5, 3-minute songs those would be the numbers for the musical. And I call it Jingle the Musical.
Okay.
You know why, right? Jingle.
I get it.
Yeah, an advertising jingle. Yeah.
I get it. Wow.
Yeah. What do you think about that idea?
I don't think.
Just let that one wash over. Hold on, before you just let it wash over you.
Yeah. Maybe it's witty a little bit.
Yeah, you think so?
I mean, I can see the wit there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, those are the three that I have.
Those are ones that I don't even remember.
Okay.
Okay.
So
here's what I remember.
I cannot imagine what you're about to say.
This is just an extra. When you said you've got like a storyline for a Broadway play in your head, you also have a country song too. You've been trying to build for a lot of years.
Yeah. It's called Me and Jen.
That's right. Yeah. And you're playing on G-I-N and J-E-N.
That is exactly right. I'm playing on G-I-N and J-E-N. And you could go one of two ways with Me and Jen. I still believe this could be a great country song. You could go kind of the sad whiskey lullaby way where, in each verse to me, it's like, they meet and they're at some fishing hole, some swimming hole, and a bunch of friends swimming. It's high school and then everybody leaves and who's left? It's just me and Jen. And then verse 2 is like, on our wedding day, like she said yes, and on our wedding day, and we're standing there with all our friends, but at the end of the night, it was just me and Jen. And then Jen gets sick, and they're in the hospital, and the doctor says there's nothing left he can do, and everyone leaves to give them a quiet moment together, and together the last moment it was just me and Jen.
Oh wow, that kind of.
Yeah, but then you end up he's drinking his sadness away,
right? And
so that last one is me and G-I-N.
Yeah.
So there's a whiskey lullaby angle. It's like a sad song, but then there's also like a kind of like a Toby Keith. I'll put a boot in your butt. Kind of like a me and Jen. It could be like a raucous kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where maybe she cheated on him with his best friend, and now he's at the honky tonk, and it's just me and Jen. You know, it's like that. It's more of an upbeat thing.
Yeah, somebody could do something with
maybe
that.
Jen doesn't die, but Jen just runs away with another good old boy, and now he's like at the honky tonk.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I recall that you wanted to design men's clothes.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
You are fully
convinced
you could be a music producer.
I could produce a hit song. I know I could. I've got a good
ear. You'd like to run a restaurant. Open a
restaurant. No. Let's back up. I've never ever said that I could run a restaurant or that I would like to open or run a restaurant. I've never said that.
But you think it's at one point you thought that'd be easy.
No. No, that's not true.
Okay.
What you're saying is not true.
Okay.
I have never said it would be easy to open and run a restaurant. I've never said those words.
I think you did before you knew how hard it was.
Nope, I never did.
Okay.
Never did.
I think you did.
I never said that.
Okay.
And I've never believed that opening or running a restaurant is something that I'm gifted at or that I want to do.
Yeah.
Would I like to be, do I have ideas for restaurants that I believe would be popular in Franklin?
Yes, you do
places
have those.
I would go to.
But I'm going way back before you got a little bit more specific in recent years, trying to dabble in that world a little bit.
Right.
But you did. You wanted to do that. And in fact, you also specifically wanted to buy the gas station down the road.
I'm still
because
convinced
you
that's
think
a great
it would
idea.
just be great if we showed up and started selling biscuits at 5:30 in the morning. We'll just pack up all the kids since we homeschool, and y'all can be like cooking biscuits. And
these are words I never said.
You did because you put all this work on me with this idea.
That's not true.
Of just this charming little. We're gonna run a country market, and it would be so fun.
Well. You're speaking half-truths right now.
I'm speaking all truths.
No, you're not. I do believe that little gas station could be something special. I do believe it could be a fun... It could still maintain its kind of local country gas station market feel, but also be kind of a fun destination place where instead of, like... crappy gas station food, like you have decent sausage and biscuits, you have a decent little deli sandwich shop, you have local eggs and local milk, you go in there and buy Hatcher Dairy, you go in there and buy local beer, something like that. I do believe it could be something better than what it is. I have never suggested that you pack up the kids and go homeschool while you
did. You sure did. You thought it'd be so fun.
You are putting on now.
When we had little kids, we can make this a family thing, and we'll just close after lunch, and we'll come home and
these are things that have never come out of my mouth. They are.
Yeah,
I think
you had me cooking in the gas station kitchen.
You're putting on
making biscuits.
You're putting on.
I'm totally not.
No, you're not.
I promise you, I'm not
Kimberly,
putting on.
But it's just not real. It's just not real.
It is.
Hey,
it was a
close
family.
Up at noon.
Listen, I'm not mad at you about it, but it was a family. You thought it'd be so fun
to close at noon.
If our family,
really?
Well, that was a dumb idea. But
I didn't have that idea. I never said, and we'll close at noon.
Well, maybe I got to leave the kitchen at noon. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. But that was one that you kind of really
I'm still
had
convinced
to hold you off on.
That could be a really fun little place. I don't think we're the operators of that, but I do think we could be the ones who have an idea for it, and we bring in somebody else to execute
but
that.
you did bring that to me, thinking, wanting me to dream that up with you.
We're going to have to agree to disagree. I never envisioned you with our children back in the kitchen cooking sausage and biscuits.
You've just forgotten.
That's
I stand by it.
I still love you, but that's not accurate.
Yeah. Okay.
Any more? And trying to think of a real one this time. One that I actually did say.
These are real. This is what it's like living with Chris Thomas. These are real things. Yeah. You've just forgotten because we're older. It's been a long time.
Well, I mean, we've lived down the road from this gas station for 11 years.
Yeah.
It wasn't 11 years ago that I had this idea.
No, maybe it was, I don't know.
Yeah, it was probably like
9 or 10.
No, that wasn't even that.
8, 9. I don't know.
Any more?
can't think of any more.
Okay, good.
You know?
Well, I guess we'll just go ahead and have to wrap it up then. Before you crush any more dreams.
Oh, I'm sure they're there.
I mean, you're crushing dreams I didn't even really have at this point. You're just like a whack-a-mole, and you see something pop up, and before the words even come out, whack, 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 whack.
No.
Okay.
This is where I think you have so many ideas you forget. Of course. Of course that is possible. You can't remember every idea that you've had, but I have some that I have had to process.
I've never had an idea that involved you in a kitchen at 6:30 in the morning cooking biscuits with our children.
All right. Well, I haven't processed all of your ideas, but a few of them I have.
Okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Thanks.
All right. Well, this has been a lovely conversation.
Okay.
Is there...
No, I feel like I'm trying to think of some more things.
Oh, you're trying to think of more things now?
Yeah, you know.
All right. Well, maybe we'll have round 2 at some point. Because I keep a list of these things. So I could dig up like 3 more, and then that may spark some more things that you remember incorrectly.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't accept that dig. I reject that dig.
You know I love you.
I do.
I appreciate you being on the show today and sharing all of these fun memories.
Do you?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
You don't?
Not really.
See, now it's just weird. I don't feel like we can even put this out.
I'm not angry.
I'm not either.
Okay, good.
I'm not either.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right.
Fist bump.
Love you.
Who's on the same team?
We're on the same team.
We're on the same team.
We're on the same team.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. I love you. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.